We're almost 1 year into the COVID-19 global pandemic, and it certainly has taken its toll in so many ways on all of us. In this next segment, a popular life coach talks about virtual learning fatigue for students, how you can spot the challenges and make some adjustments. Here's what she had to share.
So many of us are spending so much more time behind a computer, and that includes kids who are virtual learning. We welcome Deborah Porter of Moms Mentoring Circle to Virginia this morning to talk about it. Good morning, Deborah.
Good morning. How are you today?
Doing great today. So we're talking about virtual learning fatigue, and you have some great tips for families who might be going through this right now.
Yeah, it's the new world that we live in. And the thing about it, though, for children, they're not meant to sit in front of a computer for 6 or 7 hours a day. Just their normal routine at school allows for movement, whether it's from class to class, going to the locker to get their belongings, going to the restroom, recess. And so we've got to figure out how to build that back into their day. And it's going to be challenging, but I think we can do it.
Absolutely. Another one of your tips is to use a timer. That is a great one. We all have one right here on our phone. How can we use a timer to sort of get through this virtual learning fatigue?
Timers are great. In addition to the movement, whether it's stretching or, just taking a few minutes to do a few jumping jacks or even running around the backyard for movement, what the timer does, it gives kids the knowing that there's an end to this, right? Every subject is not a favorite subject. So for those subjects that they're working on that maybe it's not their particular favorite or it's not the one they want to do right now, setting a timer and letting them know, look, when this buzzes, you're done. You're done with that subject. You don't have to think about it anymore today. It just helps to bring an end to maybe something that's not such a pleasant task.
That's such a good one. Just set the timer and say, if you can handle it for X amount of minutes, we can just kind of get it over with and move on to the next one. That's a great one.
Exactly.
So another one that I love to implement in my work life, but this would be great for learning fatigue as well, is a checklist.
Yeah, I am a systems girl. So I have a list for any and everything that I'm doing. For me, it helps to make sure I don't forget what's going on. But the other thing it does, it really is a sense of accomplishment for kids to be able to just kind of cross that thing off, whether it's a homework assignment, whether it's study time, but it's great to have this list to know that I'm going through my day, I'm being productive, and there are things that I've already got behind me as I'm looking forward to the rest of the day.
Do you recommend the parent sitting down with the kid and making that checklist, or could the kids make it on their own?
That's challenging too, as we're in this moment, because normally you're on the other side of town at work, they're in a school building, we don't know what each other's got going. So I really like to encourage parents to give as much of this to your child to do for themselves. And then if they need some support with you, let them ask you. But really let them do as much of this as they can on their own, because in the normal world, they would be doing these things. They would have challenges and things come up during their day. We just wouldn't be 2 doors away to hear what's going on.
Absolutely. And something else that you have here, I absolutely love this because I think a lot of us can relate, thinking back on our school days of just the excitement built around a field trip. You knew it was coming up. You knew that this was on the horizon. It was something to look forward to. You mentioned maybe a virtual field trip.
Virtual field trips are so fun. I've done a couple with some friends' kids and niece or nephew. But here's the thing, we can go anywhere now, right? The field trip generally was in our, particular geographical area. Why not go to the Louvre in Paris? Why not go to a Smithsonian? Why not go to an aquarium? This is such a great way to allow the kids to still have some fun and experience something a little bit different. And if your teacher or your child's teacher or their school is not planning those, send a quick email and see if it's something the teacher has thought about. And here's something else I'm suggesting to parents. If you need to tap out one day, just set one up for your family. Let the teacher know that you'll even let your child maybe do a short report or presentation to the class about what they, where they went and what they saw and what they learned. But field trips were like the hallmark. It was like the thing we all lived for.
Absolutely. And you know what? You can still do it when you're virtually learning. That is a great idea. And I think one that maybe not a lot of families have thought of, something that they can sort of put on their checklist to do here coming up. I love it. Well, thank you so much, Deborah. We will be sure to include all of these tips on our website and a link to Deborah's website for Mom's Mentoring Circle. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks. It's always great. Have a great day.
Oh.
Bill, definitely some thoughts to consider there. Many students across our country are in this same loop. So are the parents. It's not been, to say it's not an easy journey is still an understatement. It's nice to listen to conversations that are like this one with Deborah, so that you can remind yourself it is okay to step away. And sometimes by stepping away and you focus, you can come back even stronger in ways of moving through things. It has not been easy.
You know, it's funny, we talk about, it's coming up on almost exactly a year since this whole thing started. And when it started and we said, okay, well, the kids can do virtual learning, and everyone else, okay, all right, that sounds good. Yeah, we'll try that. It's not working out that well for a lot of kids. And as we've seen, and you know, I think everybody, as soon as it's safe, wants to get the kids back into a classroom. I wonder if there's a breakdown, boys versus girls, because of how hyper most little boys are to being able to sit there and focus, because it's been a long time since I was a boy, but I still have a hard time sitting and focusing. I'm super hyper all the time, you know? And I wonder if there's a breakdown on that, or if it's equal, or, you know, I guess we'll find out eventually. You have little girls. How do they do?
Well, one thing is for certain. We've learned so many things about our education systems, and recognizing the hard work of the teams and the teachers making all of this possible each and every day, and everything that they were going through to be able to work within a classroom to make this magic happen. You're right, totally different learning styles between all of our kids, even within one classroom. So navigating all of that was just, and to have done it every day. So
Yeah.
Kudos to our teachers and our administrators and everybody making it happen. You know, I don't know if it's little boys, little girls, all children, everybody who it is. It's tough to sit down. It's tough for us to sit down at a computer and get an assignment done, let alone, you know, the kiddos doing this and having the parents help, especially if it's not an area you're really confident in as a parent, to be able to work through teaching. There's so much. But I was talking with the principal of my daughter's school the other day, and I think, you know, it's brought so many things to the forefront now that I don't mean to be silver lining about everything, but perhaps it's given us the opportunity to consider some things that maybe weren't being considered before, that
Right.
might make all of this a little bit more effective for everybody.
Well, there you go. Let's stay with that positive. Let's go with that silver lining, and say that stick around, because Jess will come up with some more great news for us right after we do a quick break.